You're watching Taste the Victory.
Hey all, we got the Discard Aggro gameplay here. I am going to be playing Shine Hybrids and my opponent will be playing Discard Aggro. That is Hayes, a really great player who hangs out in Huang and I's server. So I'm excited to show off this list from the deck profile earlier. Go ahead and click the top right if you want to see the actual list Hayes is playing. I'll put the Shine list at the end of this video. I start off going first by playing Zoe, and that lets me search my securities to then grab a hybrid in there, yellow hybrid. I grab Jet Sylphie, and then we got Zephyrmon to go into next turn and then get the value off of Jet Sylphie eventually. Our opponent goes after us, Digivolving into Gobbly and Raising, and then hard playing the Eyesmon Scatter Mode. I did start them off at 4, so it's not even bad because Eyesmon Scatter Mode is a 4-cost champion, so that does choke me at 1. He's going to check into security, and we saw earlier checking off a Zoe that we do have that Wyvern's Breath, and we were lucky to hit it, so that's going to go ahead and delete his Goblimon. So that's a little less pressure on security that we need to worry about. Luckily, we do have the Jet Sylphie set up for next turn, so even if we were worried about it, we could just recover back. He plays Calling from Darkness, so he's able to delete that Eyesmon even if it didn't die to security, and then he's able to grab back any 2 purple cards back to his hand. He grabs back one of them with the Promote, which has synergy, as we talked about in the profile, with the Eyesmon. He also has the Ogremon. It looks like he grabbed back Chicago Promote and Ogremon, I believe. Okay, so he's discarding those off of the draw 3, discard 2 from Eyesmon Scatter Mode's effect. And then it looks like he took back that play. It looks like he kind of wanted to choke me at 1 there by just whiffing the Calling from Darkness. Instead, he'll go ahead and give me the 3 memory by hard playing the Goblimon to set up for next turn. That gives me enough to go for only 1 into Jet Sylphie and then recover, because Jet Sylphie has the ability, if a Digimon has a tamer in its sources, you can Digivolve over it for reducing the cost by 2. So that lets me Digivolve for 1. I'm going to go ahead into swing into security, and I was worried about losing that stack because then I could shine next turn when he gets too wide of a board. But I just go ahead and take the risk because we did a profile on this list, so we have a good idea of what is in his list. And at 7k, I think it's actually impossible against this card aggro for Jet Sylphie to be deleted. So it was okay to go ahead and poke. Here I poke with the Patamon next. Patamon unfortunately hits that Jack Raid in security, so that does pass turn to him. He pushes the Eyesmon out of the breeding area. So it is his turn. He goes ahead and Digivolves into the Ogremon. Ogremon then passes turn. I have Blinding Ray here, so I'm going to Blinding Ray, discarding another one, putting me at 3 security, so now I don't have to worry about passing turn. I'm able to play another Tamer, thus giving me enough memory to pop his Ogremon. Ogremon is really scary in this matchup because, as we talked about in the profile, it takes advantage of the meta having low DP and a lot of Tamers, so he can get his 2 checks off. That is a lot of pressure. I could potentially present lethal with an Eyesmon on the field by doing that Eyesmon Jikaku Promote combo. So I really want to get rid of that. That is a huge priority. So I use the Blinding Ray to get enough memory to have 2 Tamers since Ogremon is 5000 DP, and then pop it with Shine, putting him only at 3, which isn't a terrible memory threshold to pass. He swings with the Eyesmon, giving us our memory setting TK and letting us grab stuff out of our security. That's fantastic. So that stops his Eyesmon from getting deleted, but he does have the Darkness Claw. Or Death Claw. There's 2 similarly named cards, I can't remember off the top of my head, but he has that Claw card to delete his own Eyesmon and get the Search effect off, and then also the Trash 2 effect off, getting those 2 Eyesmon. That's really scary. 2 free bodies that could potentially attack if Jinkakumon Promote, which has Rush, Digivolves over them for only 1. So even though it didn't die in security, he has ways to trigger it. He does Digivolve for 1, swings into security, Bokumon, so he lives since Bokumon is only 1000 DP. He does have the other one, debating what to do there, but it looks like he's just going to pop the one that already swung. So he's able to grab back more cards off of the Call from Darkness. Able to grab back any 2 purple Digimon cards, or purple cards, I believe. I think it's just 2 purple Digimon cards, I'm not sure of the exact wording. But he's going to go ahead and pass turn that way by Digivolving in the back into the Ogremon that he grabbed back. I Digivolve into Salamon just to get that cycle, and we have a bunch of DP here with the Shinegreymon, so we're going to go ahead and swing at security, revealing the 2 cost DP Vanilla Rookie. Digivolve into Kazumon. We don't have a way to Digivolve here and present lethal, unfortunately, since I don't have another Blinding Ray. So I'm debating if I just go into Jet Sylphie here and yep, for 1, so that gets us a recovery. So we're at least potentially out of lethal range now if he doesn't have a Jikakumon Promote. We're gonna swing there. That does reveal his last security was a Promote, 6000, so our Jet Sylphie thankfully lives. And here, I think the play, we just go into Shinegreymon here because he is 5000 DP, so we do need both of our Tamers to delete it, and 4 is a lot of memory, but we're gonna go ahead and delete that just to make sure he doesn't present lethal, because with Ogremon, if he gets both checks off, and Eyesmon that has 3 checks right there, and with 4 memory, he might be able to get something out that has Rush. So we're just going to go ahead and stop that. And luckily we see the Boulder Arm in security that deletes the Ogremon, so he doesn't even get the second check off. This was a budget build. This is like a budget build I was testing to see if we can make a viable budget option. I think you could just replace the Boulder Arms for Susanomon if you have them. He hard cast the Eyesmon Scatter Ball, and then he's able to delete it and get the draw and trash effect off of it with this Demonic Disaster. He's able to Digivolve for 1. So this is what I was talking about. Like, he could just do something like that out of nowhere, an empty board, and be able to still get some checks even with Digimon that should have Summoning Sickness. But unfortunately, as we see his hand, it wasn't enough. He doesn't have enough follow-up there. So I'm going to head and take that game as he concedes, and we go to game 2. Move on to game 2. Our opponent is going to go first. They open their Demi-Miramon, Digivolve into Gabumon. Then they will trigger, draw 2, trash 1 in the trash. That's the inheritable. They're going to go ahead and play Mimi, and that will pass turn to us with 2 memory. I opened the Patamon, so I'll go ahead and Digivolve into that. And then playing the Bokomon for 3, grabbing us the TK and Kari and the Hybrid, which is fantastic, leaving him only at 1. So we got a lot of value off of that choke as well too. The Patamon in Raising is the one that when you play, you get to reveal top 5 and grab any number of Tamers. Since we had Boko and him in opening hand, I'm going to prioritize the Digivolution for draw and then get some value off of Bokomon. I'm just testing this Patamon to see if it was actually worth anything. I don't know if I actually end up running it in the final build. We go ahead and swing a security, revealing Demonic Disaster. So right now there was nothing in his trash, so it doesn't activate anything out of security. They are at 1 memory, so they're going to have to make some hard decisions here. They played the mat, and then they played the Devimon to pass turn at 1 memory. I Digivolved into the Salamon, giving us another draw off the rookie, so that's fantastic. Here I'm debating what we want to go into to start controlling the board. I'm going to swing first to get some chips, so I'm not too scared of their early game. I'm just going to set up Tamers now, so we have a wide Shine board and a possible routes to go into Tamers, or rather to go into Hybrids off of the Tamers to be able to recover off Jet Selfie, which we do have access to in our hand right now. I grabbed the Blinding Ray out of security because it is a dead card in security anyways. It'll just be a free check for them, so might as well grab that back and then gain value off it to be able to get some Digivolutions off. He Digivolves into the Ogremon, swings at discards a card for 2 check. First one lives, but it does give us the Tamer, and we can do its effect. Unfortunately, nothing in there triggers off it, and then we got the Boulder Arm in there, and that should delete their Ogremon because it is 14,000 DP, no jamming. But now he has a lot of effects. He has that Gabumon inheritable, and he has that Demi-Miramon inheritable, so he's So he discards the Loimon and discards the Jikakumon Promote. And he's going to go ahead and swing with the Devimon, more chips. So we see, I believe we recovered that one, right? Because we already grabbed the other Blinding Ray that was in security. So I think that one came in off of security, which is really annoying. So that's a free check for him, no value for us. That's fine. We got 3 Tamers, thankfully 1 out of security. So we got a cool board here if we do try to go up into Shine to clear something. He looks, did he swing and he lived? So he Digivolved into the Eyesmon? That's new. Digivolved into the Eyesmon and then Calling from Darkness did, so that's amazing. And then because of Mimi, it doesn't pass turn, so it's still his turn, so he gets the full value. He gets to draw 3, discard 2. And I'm assuming in this deck, you're going to obviously have access until you have the Eyesmon. You're going to be wait, discard off of those. Looking like that's not the case. He does, wow. He did not have the Eyesmon, he just needed to get that cycle to maybe dig for it for a follow-up Eyesmon Scatter Mode play. Instead, he's just going to discard Ogremon and something else, and he's going to hard play the Gazimon, which is good, so I can't Blinding Ray anymore. That is smart. They get shut off. First check with the Sala, unfortunately, does not give us our recovery. Instead, it gives him a check off of Demonic Disaster. That is really unfortunate because now he gets to play back a rookie for free, so he has a wider board presence. He now has Lethal. He had Lethal previously, but if I was able to choke him to 1, he would not have, you know, he had Lethal previously because he Digivolved one of his Tamers into a Hybrid for only 2 memory. But if I was able to put him at only 1, if he doesn't have Jackray, we would have been able to lock him out of that Lethal. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Jet Sylphimon, and then I'm going to go ahead and clear his board with Shinegreymon. So we got a little bit of pressure back there from us. Back up to 2, we are even in security. I don't have TK and Kari out, so I don't mind that we're back at even security. I'm just trying to stay alive. As you saw, if you watch the deck profile, Purple Aggro discard is really aggressive. So he's able to win from even just 4 security. So even just being at 2 leaves me uncomfortable with 2 Tamers on the field. This does put him at 4 memory plus the guy in the back. So there it is, yeah. So that's where I'm kind of worried about the lethal coming in through the hybrids. So he looks like he's going to swing into my Salamon instead of clearing security because he wants to make sure he clears lethal off board, since he can't exactly win this turn. He needs to be able to stay in the game. Unfortunately for him, I was under 3 security, so Salamon on deletion does get to go off and recover me. I'm back at 3. I feel a lot more comfortable now. We're in a good position. I don't believe I have enough memory to go into lethal here either. I don't even have Tamers to Digivolve, or rather, I don't even have hybrids to Digivolve over them, and I don't want to exactly risk the search and then whiffing it. So you see there, I'm thinking rather he better option is just to put him at 1 memory for the choke there and just start getting value, because if he can't win in this turn and he's going to try to chip away at me, he's going to give me a lot of value off of that TK and Kari if he tries to chip and can't close it out. So that discourages swinging just a little bit, but even if it doesn't, because he wants to close out the game, any kind of meaningful chip will give me more memory value and more aggression to play with next turn. And if I do start seeing my hybrids, possibly lethal. I do have that Pokemon, so with all that memory that TK Kari would give me, if he decides to swing, I would be able to play a Pokemon, dig for a hybrid, and then go into lethal, hopefully that way, with the 5 memory that I would have gotten if he had put me at less than 2 security. But however, TK and Kari did his job with him choked at 1. He did not want to put me any lower on the security count, so I wouldn't gain the extra memory off of TK and Kari, putting me at 5, since it pairs up with the memory from TK booster set 1, which sets me at 3 memory if I am at 2 or less. I do top deck the Kazimon, so I'm going to go into that. I should have waited just in case anything security might destroy me. Luckily, I do hit that. Don't hit anything security that destroys me, so I get to swing with the Kazimon. I don't have anything to be able to get lethal this turn, unfortunately, however, because I can't play the Pokemon, or rather I can't play the Blinding Ray, I mean, to be able to go into enough memory to play Pokemon and then have enough memory left over to Digivolve into any hybrid I hit off of that, because Gazimon stops Blinding Ray from going off, so I need to be able to remove that somehow first, but he didn't swing with it. I have no chip removal. We do hit the Blinding Ray, so immediately you want to get rid of that Gazi just so I have value, but also because we don't want to destroy Eyesmon so he doesn't get the Scatter Mode tech off. The search and stuff like that, but he has a Demonic Disaster in hand anyways, so he just gets to restand and swing for game, and game 2 goes to our opponent, Hayes, with discard aggro. Our opponent's going to mulligan now. This was during DigiFest weekend, so we figured might as well play with these rules. So he's going to go ahead and mulligan there. I start off first again, go Digivolve, and then play TK. The starter deck 2-cost TK. Since he is only 2, it doesn't feel bad to play too early, and he helps set up your Tamers for your game plan. Our opponent Digivolves all the way up to Eyesmon Scatter Mode already. So that's basically how that purple deck wants to play. Did you open Eyesmon Scatter Mode? No? Well, then just mulligan, you know? Basically, you want to draw into it as fast as you absolutely can, so I'm not surprised that he is seeing it so consistently this early in the game, because he's probably like mulliganing with only the intention of like opening a hand with scatter mode, and nothing else really matters. I swing into security. We do get the check off there, deletes the Patamon. And I'm just going to go ahead and give him the full 4 memory to go into TK and Kari. Probably not a good option against this deck, because that is a lot to work with. This deck can make last very long, you know, basically. Sorry for stumbling over my words there, but he's going to swing. Doesn't get the, or is he? I believe he got the deletion effect. So he gets the, yeah, because he hit the level 4 in security, so he gets the draw 3, discard 2, and there you go. 2 Eyesmon right there, down to Mimi Tamer. So that Mimi, what it does is when an option is played on either player's turn, you can suspend it to gain 1 memory. So that basically shuts off Hammer Sparks in the blue matchup. It also helps you make more efficient memory plays with your options, because every option that this deck runs is 1 cost or less. So this makes all of those free or give you no profit. So he goes into the Ogremon for putting him at 0, and then he plays Mimi, only putting me at 2. So double Mimi is really huge right now, because if he plays even 1 like Demonic Disaster to restand and stuff like that, he'll be getting plus memory off it, not just going even. So that's really powerful right now. And unfortunately trashed the TK off of Blinding Ray, which would have been really valued if he hit in security. But what I need to do right now is start getting rid of things off the board. Ogremon, all of the Digimon on that board were 5k, 5,000 DP, so I wasn't able to clear more than 1 body. However, the threat that I am more worried about is that Ogremon, because against this deck with so many Tamers and low count rookies, you know, low DP rookies, I meant to say rather, the 2 checks are very highly likely to go off, and he's presenting 4 checks right there then. So 4 checks plus a hybrid would have been lethal there. So my bigger priority was to go into Shine and delete the Ogremon so he doesn't have those 2 checks. Looks like he's starting the cycle instead of swinging with them, since he doesn't have the 2 Idealify hand, I'm assuming. We didn't give him too much memory, thankfully, as well. So he's not going too into aggression. He's just trying to set up his later turns, putting us at 1 memory. We Digivolve into a rookie, get the cycle off that. We swing into security. Unfortunately, that puts a lot of pressure back on. The Gazi comes back after we... Oh, Gazi coming back really sucks because we can't Blinding Ray. We can't do a lot of other stuff. So I'm really just trying to clear board as much as I can here. Going into the Boulder Arm, deleting 2 bodies off the field, because what Ultramon does is when Boulder Arm does when Digivolving is minus 7,000. You can activate the effect twice, which is minus 7,000 DP to one of your opponent's Digimon. So we're going to spread that across his 2 bodies to get those off the board. I think this is the infamous scenario I showed in my deck profile, where even though we were able to clear all that, it didn't matter, and he's still able to get lethal. He reveals TK and Kari, which is great value if we were able to last another turn, but I believe this is where he wins off of 4 security checks. He does Calling from Darkness to be able to get back 2 cards. He discards the Eyesmons, and then he just plays them off of all the discard effects in his Inheritables and off of Eyesmon's Scattermo's own effect. So now he has 3 of those guys out. That's insane. And this is off of 5 memory, to be fair, which is quite a bit, but I think even without it, considering that that is only a 1-cost evolution right now, I think he probably would have been able to make leeway with this even with just 3 memory. He Digivolves for 1, swings, putting me down to 2 security. He has the other Promote, so Promote can Digivolve over a level 4 for only 1 cost, and it has Rush, so even though those Eyesmons were played this turn, he is able to swing with it. He Demonic Disasters to destroy one of his Digimon and then restand one of his other purple Digimon. So he swings off of that, and then he still has double Jack Ray, and then he's able to go into Hybrid for game. That Eyesmon was played this turn, so he can't attack with it, and it seems like he's out of promotes, but he had the double Jack Ray to get enough memory to go into a hybrid over his Tamers for game. So even with if we tried to memory choke him a bit more effectively there, I think he had it pretty safely. Lots of pressure from Discard Aggro. It's a really cool deck. The deck profile is on the channel, as alluded to constantly throughout this video, if you guys want to check it out. I think it's really fun, and as long as we have Eyesmon, you definitely want to make use of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a really fun back and forth game, so I had fun playing and commentating and rewatching it. So I hope you guys had fun watching it too. I'll see you in the next video. Let me know what decks you want to see gameplay of next. Until then, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.